Hi everyone, my name is Apuraj Garakapati. Welcome to my YouTube channel Amazing Abhai. Back calmly, Shikimo demands that Linz each and immediately transfer his ki and blood into her. The potent pill she just forced him to swallow is rapidly regenerating his energy, and if he doesn't unload it soon, his body will literally explode. To begin the transfer, she tells him to place his palm directly over her heart and release the energy. Linz Ichen's brain instantly short-circuits as his face turns beet red, placing his hand directly over her heart that is literally right on her chest. The pure awkwardness of this situation is hitting him like a truck, but with the fiery red energy swirling around him and his body on the verge of bursting, he has no time to be picky. Pushing his embarrassment aside, he presses his hand down onto her chest and begins transferring the surging power before it tears him apart. Desperate to distract himself from the incredibly awkward position he's in, Linz Icchen scrambles to start a conversation. He asks if her ability to refine spiritual energy alongside her blood-quenching technique means she dual cultivates both the immortal and martial paths. Kaiching-mo calmly confirms that she is indeed a master of both. She breaks down the ancient lore for him, explaining that the immortal path is all about refining the spiritual energy of heaven and earth, while the martial path focuses on refining the physical body. The blood-quenching technique he's been practicing is just one of many methods belonging to the body-refining path. Neither path is superior to the other. They simply represent different approaches. While the immortal path relies on spells and laws, the martial path relies on physical might. Yet, despite their different directions, both paths of evolution eventually lead to the exact same destination. Naturally, most people prefer the path of least resistance, since refining spiritual energy is a whole lot easier than the brutal grind of refining the physical body. The vast majority of powerhouses in her ancient era chose to walk the immortal path. This raises a massive question for Linz Icchen, and if both paths lead to the same place, why would anyone waste their precious energy dual cultivating? Shikimo reveals that the spiritual energy in her era eventually began to dry up. Cultivators had no choice but to transition to body refining, or they would have completely perished when the cataclysmic age of Dharma declined arrived. Once that dark age of depleted spiritual energy officially hit, almost every living being was doomed to a swift and unavoidable death. Only an elite few, like the legendary Mastechioed sealed expert and Shikimo herself, were powerful enough to successfully seal themselves away and survive the apocalypse. 6 hours of intense, soul-draining energy transfer later, Kaikingmo finally calls a timeout. She notes that Linz Ichen's ki and blood are nearly tapped out, advising him to rest up during the day so they can continue the grind tonight. But she isn't just taking his life force for free. She hands him a bottle containing his compensation for the upcoming daily transfusions. Linz Icchen opens the bottle to find the very same pill she forced down his throat earlier. Shikimo explains that these are legendary bloodbath pills. Consuming one will instantly supercharge his ki and blood recovery, which will be an absolute game changer when he attempts to open his heart and torso acupuncture, or if he ever finds himself in a brutal life or death battle. Pocketing the incredible loot, Linz Icchen realizes he has a golden opportunity to pick the brain of a literal living legend. He asks Kaikingmo if she can help him solve a mysterious puzzle. Pulling out a piece of paper, Linz Icchen shows her the bizarre alien runes he's been trying to decipher. Kaikingmo studies them closely, admitting she doesn't know their exact meaning, but she definitely remembers seeing identical markings on ancient ruins back in her own era. This revelation sends Linz Ichen's mind racing. Ancient ruins from the era of abundant spiritual energy, his brain instantly flashes to the mysterious, submerged undersea temple he saw in Principal Mo's video recording. If those ruins are connected to her era, this underwater temple might be a gold mine of ancient secrets. Sensing a massive breakthrough, Linz Icchen bolts for the door, begging the pavilion master to stay awake just a little longer while he runs to the research institute to grab the recording. Not wanting to be left behind, sensing Han immediately dashes after him. Desperate to get the video to Kaikingmo as fast as possible, the two sprint through the institute. But as they frantically kick open the door, they are greeted by a sight that completely freezes them in their tracks. Standing right there is Yu Yan, fresh out of the shower and completely naked. The sheer face-melting shock leaves both Lin's Iken and Sensing Han screaming in horror. Lin's Iken and Sensing Han are left mortified after barging in on Yu Yan, with Lin's Iken barely able to form a coherent sentence as he tries to process the sight. Blushing furiously, Yu Yan desperately tries to cover herself up while demanding to know why on earth they decided to come here so late at night. However, Lin's Iken has his priorities straight. Yelling that there is no time to explain, he bolts straight past her to locate the laptop containing the principal's undersea ruins recording, so they can show it to the pavilion master. With the prize secured, the embarrassed couple makes a frantic run for it, shouting a hasty goodbye, and leaving a thoroughly bewildered Yu Yan standing there wondering what just happened. Later in his apartment, Lin's Icon shows the footage to Kai Kingmo, who instantly recognizes that the submerged temple on screen is identical to the undersea ruins she visited during her own era. Intrigued, Kai Kingmo asks for the location of these ruins. Lin's Iken explains that they were found at Double Sun Bay, but the entrance has since vanished, adding that although director Liu shot the footage years ago, the temple had completely disappeared when he tried to return. Realizing they have another potential clue, Lin's Iken tells Shen Xinghen to fetch the pearl satial bracelet that director Liu successfully salvaged from the ruins so the pavilion master can examine it. The moment the bracelet touches Kai Kingmo's hand, she is stunned to sense a massive, incredibly dense concentration of heaven and earth spiritual Kai locked inside it. Realizing this could be her ticket to restoring her dry energy reserves, she asks Lin's Iken if she can keep it. Sensing a golden opportunity to secure the ultimate high-level backer, Lin's Iken happily agrees to gift it to her, smoothly playing it off by saying that a treasure like this is only useful in her highly capable hands anyway. The legendary pavilion master is genuinely touched by their generosity and calls them good kids, promising that once she heads into the origin land to search for a way out, she will do everything she can to gather rare evolutionary resources to help them grow stronger. Lin's Iken and Shen Xinghen respectfully thank Kai Kingmo, but she quickly stops them, noting that she should be the one thanking them instead. They had not only saved her life with vital blood transfusions, but also gifted her a spiritual powerhouse of a bracelet when she needed it most. Feeling re-energized, the ancient pavilion master decides to skip resting altogether and announces that she is heading straight to Double Sun Bay, immediately, to track down the legendary undersea ruins herself. In the blink of an eye, she vanishes into thin air. Shen Xinghen asks Lin's Iken if he thinks their new boss will actually be able to locate the vanished ruins, to which Lin's Iken replies that they will just have to wait for her return to find out. Sometime later, the team is back in deep meditation, focusing intently on unlocking their bodily acupoints to build their strength further. However, their focus is interrupted when Mo YY walks into the room carrying a mysterious cardboard package, notifying director Ligu that a delivery has arrived for him. Liu Chuan-Wu is baffled as he takes the box, jokingly wondering aloud if some old sweetheart of his has sent him a surprise gift. Suddenly, Lin's Iken's danger perception passive skill activates, alerting him that a massive threat is looming right in front of them. Lin's Iken screams for the director to drop the box, but before anyone can react, terrifying, spiked blood-red vines explode violently out of the package. As the room is instantly filled with a deadly crimson poison mist, Lin's Iken realizes they have been set up. Fortunately, thanks to his cheat-like abilities, his system confirms he is actively being exposed to high-level mutant plant toxins, continuously boosting his poison resistance on the spot. The mysterious delivery package turns out to be a devastating trap, instantly filling the entire room with a thick crimson poison mist. Lin's Iken quickly shouts a warning for everyone to hold their breath and avoid inhaling the deadly pollen, but the toxin is already spreading too fast. Realizing he needs to neutralize the source of the poison immediately, Lin's action points directly at the dangerous mutant plant. His system quickly confirms that the blood sacrifice flower has been successfully stored inside his newly unlocked biological storage space, preventing the trap from releasing any more venom. Unfortunately, the damage is already done. Looking down at the collapsed Shen Xinghen and Ma Weiwei, Lin's Iken realizes that the poison is far more insidious than they thought. It doesn't just rely on inhalation, as even basic skin contact with the pollen is enough to completely paralyze a victim. Struggling against the physical toll of the toxin, Yu Yan demands to know who would dare launch such a cowardly surprise attack. Beside her, Liu Chuan-Wu groans in pain, noting that using mutated plants as weapons is a signature move pointing directly to the treacherous plant god cult. Fearing for his safety, a weakened Shen Xinghen desperately urges Lin Ziqin to leave them behind and run. She points out that the cultists are clearly after him, and that he shouldn't risk his life trying to protect the rest of the group. But running away isn't in Lin Ziqin's playbook. Instead, he fully activates his high-level spiritual power, using his enhanced perception to sweep the surrounding area and pinpoint the exact coordinates of the attackers. Before we move ahead, please take a second to like on this video. A like tells me that you enjoyed this topic. Your support helps Amazing Apai grow naturally. Just as he suspected, a hostile strike team of cultists is already charging through the campus grounds, rushing to lock down the building and capture their target. Bolting out of the research facility, Lin Ziqin detects 7 exceptionally powerful energy signatures heading straight for him, confirming that the ambush party is closing in fast. Before he can prepare a counter-strategy, a massive figure suddenly looms over him, blocking his path. This formidable opponent is the 8th elder of the plant god cult, who mockingly questions why the young student is running so fast through the school. Flashing a wicked red-eyed grin, he menacingly asks Lin Ziqin if he has run into some kind of urgent emergency. Instead of wasting breath on small talk, Lin Ziqin launches a punch straight at the elder's face. However, the cultist easily slips the blow, leaving Iken's instincts screaming in alarm as he realizes he is dealing with a highly dangerous, rare-level powerhouse. The 8th elder mockingly commends Iken's sharp reflexes, noting how impressive it is that he attacked without a shred of hesitation. However, the praise ends there as massive, thorny vines suddenly erupt from the ground, tightly wrapping themselves around Ziqin's limbs to restrict his movements. Believing the young prodigy is neutralized, the elder barks out orders to his 6 masked subordinates, instructing them to storm the research institute and kidnap the paralyzed members of the Heavenly Human Pavilion. The henchmen immediately sprint off to carry out his orders, but the cultists have seriously underestimated their prey. Lin Ziqin triggers his biological attribute, Lord of the Forest, instantly hijacking the genetic control of the very plants binding him. With the thorny vines now answering to his will, Ziqin tears himself free and immediately pursues the hit squad. Deciding he must neutralize the runners before they can reach his friends, Ziqin leaps into action. Manipulating the massive razor-sharp vines with lethal precision, he tears through the 6 fleeing subordinates, leaving the entire squad permanently out of commission in a single, bloody sweep. Seeing his strike team wiped out in seconds, the furious 8th elder unleashes his overwhelming biological pressure ability. He grinds his teeth in disbelief, marveling at the impossible array of cheat-like traits packed into Ziqin's body, from poison immunity to plant manipulation. Flooding the area with his full power, the elder triggers a massive surge of red energy that completely shatters the surrounding ground, sending heavy debris and boulders flying into the air. The crushing weight of this rare-level pressure slams our boy violently to the ground, pinning him under an immense force. The elder coldly commands the boy to stop his useless struggling and submit to his capture. Lin Ziqin is in a massive bind, pinned under the crushing weight of a rare-level powerhouse. The gap in their biological ranks is sheer insanity, but he isn't about to lie down and die. Digging deep, he desperately scrambles to find a way out of this mess. He realizes his Lord of the Forest trait is his ticket to freedom. If he can manipulate the thick root systems running deep underground, he can construct a quick escape tunnel. To buy some time for the roots to shift, he calls out to his attacker, questioning how someone so ridiculously powerful could have such a mysterious identity. Falling for the trap, the elder grins wickedly and proudly reveals himself as the 8th elder of the plant god cult, boasting that their faction can grant evolutionary resources beyond anything Ziqin could ever imagine. He confidently claims that once Lin Ziqin joins them, he will realize just how foolish he was to resist in the first place. Stalling as hard as he can, Ziqin asks for specifics on those resources while silently routing the plant roots right beneath their feet. But the elder is no fool. He chuckles, seeing right through the stalling tactic and mockingly tells him to give up because nothing he does will save him. He rubs it in, explaining that all the top-tier defenders in the area have already departed for the origin land to deal with the beast invasion, meaning absolutely no one is coming to rescue him. But Zichin defiantly fires back that he doesn't need anyone's help. He is fully capable of saving himself. Just then the ground completely erupts. A massive wall of giant thorny vines blasts upward, shattering the pavement and forcing the startled elder to fall back in surprise. Furious that his prey is slipping away, the elder yells in anger as Zichin plunges straight down into the gaping trench, sliding through the giant roots. The elder leaps down to give chase, but he immediately stops dead in his tracks. To his horror, the underground is a dizzying complex maze of hollowed-out tunnels, leaving him completely clueless as to where Zichin has vanished. Exploding back onto the surface empty-handed, the frustrated elder wonders if this crazy kid has secretly fused with giant mutant rat genes to be able to dig such an extensive network of holes. Realizing physical pursuit is useless, the elder decides to play dirty. Standing over the pit, he shouts a chilling warning, advising Zichin to surrender unless he wants his parents in the residential district to face a terrible tragedy. Hearing this low-blow threat from inside the dark tunnels, Zichin freezes, his mind racing. In sheer panic, he boils with rage as his worst nightmare comes to life. He curses the supposedly powerful deputy governor, Yi Yansheng, realizing that the high-ranking official's promises of security were nothing more than a complete joke. Knowing he has no choice but to play along for his family's safety, he bursts back onto the surface, yielding to his captor. The smug 8th elder chuckles, praising the boy for being smart enough to surrender, and promising that his parents will remain completely unharmed. Lin Zichin resolves to bide his time and find another opening later, but the elder isn't taking any more chances. In an instant, a massive swarm of spiked vines shoots forward, wrapping Zichin in a tight, thorny cocoon before he can even try to hijack the plants again. He realizes to his horror that these specialized thorns have sealed his internal ki and blood flow. The elder smugly commends him, admitting it's actually quite impressive that an advanced tier kid managed to evade a rare level pursuer for this long. But just when things look completely hopeless, a majestic figure descends from the heavens. Floating effortlessly in the sky like a goddess is none other than Kai King Mo. Lin Zichin's brain is spinning. She was supposed to be searching the vanished ruins at Double Sun Bay. Did she finish early? Or did she somehow sense he was in deep trouble from miles away? Either way, he knows the tables have officially turned. The 8th elder's smug grin vanishes as he breaks into a cold sweat. He stares at the sky, utterly baffled. Flight and undetected stealth are traits of a terrifyingly high-level expert, and he can't believe there is a powerhouse of this caliber in the province whom he doesn't know about. Panicking, he demands to know who she is. Kai King Mo looks down with disdain, calmly telling him that a pathetic little ant like him has absolutely no right to know her name. She slowly clenches her fist, ready to show this cultist what a real supreme deity can do. Kai King Mo unleashes her power, and she doesn't just defeat the 8th elder. She straight up vaporizes him in a massive blood-red explosion, leaving Lin Zichin shocked by her sheer terrifying power. As the crimson mist clears, Kai King Mo casually catches a glowing red orb floating down from the sky. Lin Zichin's brain nearly short-circuits as he recognizes that distinct red glow. It is none other than a high-grade bloodbath pill. Without skipping a beat, she casually drops the freshly minted human-extracted pill right into her storage flask like it's no big deal. Watching her handle human-refined medicines so nonchalantly, Lin Zichin has a hilarious existential crisis. He starts desperately questioning if this ancient lady is actually the benevolent, compassionate, great love immortal master that the historical legends claim she was. Unbothered by his internal panic, Kai King Mo calmly notes that she can still sense a bunch of other rats in the area sharing the exact same cultist energy signature, generously offering to do him a quick favor and wipe every last one of them off the face of the earth. Before he can even formulate a response, she instantly vanishes into thin air. Left standing alone in the rubble, Lin Zichin is so utterly awestruck by her broken abilities that he's ready to bow down and beg her to become his adoptive mother on the spot. He realizes that compared to her, the supposedly powerful deputy governor Yi Yansheng is a total pushover. Who needs government backing when you can cling to the thigh of a literal immortal who turns her enemies into pocket-sized supplements? Before we move ahead, please take a second to share on this video. Sharing helps this video reach friends who may also enjoy anime, gaming, travel, cricket, chess, career basics, or personal stories. Your support helps Amazing Abhi grow naturally. Once the rest of the hidden cultists on campus are thoroughly cleaned up, Lin Zichen heads back to the research lab to check on the group. He quickly brings Shen Xinghan, Ma Dongjai, Liu Chuan-Wu, and Yu Yan up to speed, revealing the mind-blowing truth that the student council president's advisor, Juzio Ohui, was actually the 8th elder of the plant god cult, while hyping up the absolute cheat code level of strength their legendary pavilion master possessed. Back inside, Shen Xinghan is totally fangirling, completely amazed by how ridiculously strong their newly awakened boss is. As they walk into the living room, they find Kai King Mo chilling on the couch. She casually lets them know that she's already exterminated every single cultist lurking around the campus, and promises that if Lin Zichen runs into any more of those freaks in the future, she'll happily liquidate them too. Lin Zichen can't help but smile. He realizes right then and there what having a real top-tier powerhouse backer actually means. This isn't just a safety net, it's a literal cheat code. But of course, nothing in life is free. Kai King Mo immediately puts him to work, instructing him to get some quick rest because she's going to need another massive transfusion of his Kai and blood very soon. For the next several days, our boy's daily routine becomes an absolute grind. He spends 6 grueling hours every single day acting as a human battery, transferring his life force directly into the ancient master to help her recover. And while she generously pays him back with those ultra-potent bloodbath pills, Lin Zichen has a serious moral dilemma. Having watched her literally vaporize and condense a human cultist to make them, he's too creeped out to swallow them. He decides it's probably safer for his conscience to stick to basic non-human infused energy supplements instead. 10 days fly by and Kai King Mo decides she's done waiting around. She flies straight to the heavily fortified Nanjing Provincial Military Headquarters, immediately pinpointing it as the exact location of the portal leading into the mysterious origin land. Naturally, her unsanctioned flight path doesn't go unnoticed. The base's flying mech guards immediately swarm her, demanding to know who she is. But trying to catch a literal goddess is a fool's errand. In the blink of an eye, she completely vanishes, leaving the baffled security team scrambling to check their surveillance feeds for a ghost. While the guards are losing their minds, Kai King Mo has already bypassed security, slipping straight into the biological passage. She observes the pulsating, organic, red walls of the portal, highly intrigued to find that the gateway is actually a living, breathing entity. Kai King Mo has finally arrived in the mysterious origin land. As she floats high in the sky above City 36, she looks around, instantly impressed by the energy of this new place. She can feel that the air is filled with a unique, high-grade energy. It is so strong that it easily matches the pure spiritual Kai from her own ancient era. Since that environment is so rich with energy, she realizes that the creatures living here must be incredibly powerful. To avoid any unnecessary trouble, she decides to keep a low profile and move forward carefully. However, staying hidden is difficult when you look like a powerful goddess floating in the sky. Soon, 2 flying guards from City 36 spot her, aggressively demanding to know how she got past security and ordering her to stop. Before the guards can even get close to her, Kai King Mo vanishes into thin air. The confused guards quickly panic and report the mysterious intruder directly to the city. Lord, within seconds, the entire city goes into high alert. Loud sirens scream warnings about a mysterious flying intruder whose power level is estimated to be at the rare rank or even higher. Completely ignoring the chaos she just caused, Kai King Mo flies deep into a strange ancient jungle. She finds the bizarre plants and animals of this alternate world quite amusing. Suddenly, her sharp senses alert her to an incoming danger. A massive wave of sharp, spiked wooden stakes shoots out from the trees, flying straight toward her with deadly speed. Kai King Mo does not even flinch, completely unimpressed by such a cheap sneak attack. With a quick wave of her hand, she releases a flurry of sharp cuts, slicing the incoming wooden spikes into tiny pieces of firewood. The hidden attackers then trigger a massive landslide to crush her, but she simply glides through the falling rocks like a leaf in the wind, totally untouched. Moments later, A giant wooden dragon with glowing green eyes rises from the deep forest, standing over her like a massive mountain. A masked commander stands proudly on top of the wooden dragon's head, loudly demanding to know who this mysterious intruder is. At that moment, a group of black-robed cultists from the plant god cult fly toward her. They quickly surround her, angry that she dared to enter their sacred territory all by herself. Floating calmly in the middle of their trap, King Mo does not even blink, as the cultists mock her and ask if she has a death wish. Not far away in the twisted valley of the Origin Land, another fierce battle is turning into a disaster. Qin Yanbai, the winged deputy city lord of City 1, is fleeing for his life. Covered in blood and wounds, he realizes his team has walked straight into a deadly trap. Huge twisting wooden dragons chase him through the narrow canyon, leaving the winged lord with absolutely no place to hide. Standing on top of the wooden monsters, a laughing cultist shouts that both the deputy lord and his young mutant geniuses will die today, unless they surrender and swallow their disgusting parasite seeds. Holding his bleeding arm, Qin Yanbai realizes someone has betrayed them. This was supposed to be a simple training mission for his students at a minor outpost, which means someone inside their own city leaked their location. Gritting his teeth, he swears to protect the kids and get them out of this trap, no matter what. One of the students fighting for her life is Liuo Qinshui, Mo Dongjai's senior disciple. Even though she has hurt and exhausted, she bravely swings her sword, locked in a fierce fight against an enemy beast. Farther away in the forest, the giant wooden monster roars, hungry to destroy Qin Mo. The attackers have no idea that they have just picked a fight with a literal goddess. King Mo is surrounded by the hostile plant god cult members. Instead of running away, she gets ready to show these fools the true power of a real immortal. The cult commander immediately realizes he is in terrible danger. Terrified, he quickly orders his men to retreat, but it is already too late. With a simple wave of her hand, King Mo blows the commander to pieces. The remaining cultists watch in pure horror as their strong leader is instantly destroyed. They panic and beg her to spare their lives. King Mo ignores their cries and unleashes a series of massive explosions, completely destroying the rest of the ambush team in just a few seconds. When the smoke clears, she reaches out her hand to catch several glowing red energy pearls that formed from their destroyed bodies. A few surviving cultists try to make a deal, claiming they were forced to join the cult and promising to share top secrets if she lets them live. King Mo destroys them anyway. While collecting the last energy pearls, she notices something strange. None of these masked fighters have high-grade energy cores. She realizes that, like her, they must be humans from Earth who came through the portal rather than powerful native monsters. Since humans are too weak to give her the high-quality energy she needs to restore her power, she looks down at a pack of scary, red-eyed beasts in the dark jungle. She decides to hunt these native creatures instead to see how much power they have. As King Mo flies over the trees, the native beasts spot her. Knowing she is a human, they quickly rush at her, eager to tear her to pieces. King Mo calmly raises her hand. With a simple gesture, she sets off massive explosions that light up the sky, completely vaporizing the entire swarm of monsters. Before we move ahead, please take a second to like on this video. A like tells me that you enjoyed this topic. Your support helps Amazing Apai grow naturally. Covered in the monster's blood, she enjoys the familiar feeling of battle. However, she sighs because this blood is not human, meaning she cannot absorb it to heal her empty energy. She still needs Lin Zichen's blood transfusions to fully recover, but this is a good start. Just as she is about to leave, she notices several glowing blue crystals falling from the remains of the defeated beasts. She catches one of the crystals and realizes they are not ordinary rocks. They are incredibly pure spiritual crystals with much more energy than the simple spirit stones from her own ancient time. Seeing an easy way to restore her strength, she uses her powers to collect all the crystals. She decides her main goal now is to gather as many of these pure stones as possible to see if she can use them. Eager to get more loot, she flies deeper into the rocky canyons, looking for even larger groups of monsters to defeat. Deep inside the Twisted Valley, the human defense squad is facing a nightmare. A giant wooden dragon towers over them, ready to destroy everyone. With his wings bloody and broken, Deputy City Lord Qin Yuanbi screams for the students to run, while an injured Liuo Qinshui struggles to stand. Liuo Qingju and her classmates run through the narrow canyon as giant wooden roots fall from above. They try to escape, but the enemy is too fast. Sharp roots grab her ankles and lift her high into the air. Trapped tightly alongside her scared classmates, she knows the plant god cult wants to turn them into mindless puppets. Instead of letting them control her and force her to fight her own people, she decides to sacrifice herself by exploding her own energy. Tied up tightly by the plant god cult's massive wooden roots, Yuakian Shui knows she cannot escape and prepares to blow up her own energy as a last resort. Just as she gets ready for the end, the nearby cultists are startled by a sudden powerful presence. Shikingmo appears high up in the sky, looking just like an all-powerful goddess. The cultists have no idea how much stronger she is than them, so they quickly group up and launch an attack to bring her down. When the cultists charge at her, Shikingmo does not even flinch. She simply waves her hand, unleashing huge fiery explosions that turn the entire attacking team into ashes in just a few seconds. Watching the scary scene from below, Deputy City Lord Chinunbei is completely shocked. The strong cultists who had them cornered were easily destroyed with just one casual gesture. Yuakian Shu and the other survivors can only stare with open mouths, wondering who this powerful mysterious savior could actually be. This legendary ancient master is only getting started. She flies deeper into the origin land and goes on a wild run, using her great power to destroy and refine every wild beast she meets. She also remembers her promise to Lin Ziken, hunting down the rest of the cultists, hiding in the area, and completely destroying their bases. Deep in the forest, the giant green monster quickly tells the masked cult leader some terrible news. A super strong woman wearing old-style robes has shown up in the area and is completely ruining their plans. The monster shares the worst part of the news. Their high priest, both protectors and 3 of their elders, have all been killed and all of their bases have been wiped off the face of the earth. This leaves the masked cult leader in total shock. She demands to know how this could happen, quickly thinking that a high-ranking traitor inside their own group must be sharing secrets to destroy them. Seeing their whole plan fall apart, she decides they cannot wait any longer. Afraid of losing everything, she orders her followers to contact the Great Elder on Earth and start their massive attack on Shanghai City immediately. Far away from the battlefield, Lin Zichen is celebrating a major success of his own. Sweating from hard work, he finally manages to open the special energy point in his brain. Shen Xinghen interrupts him with a tease, asking if his big smile means he finally did it. He laughs and asks if she managed to open hers as well. With a proud lie, Shen Xinghen claims she actually beat him to it by 10 whole minutes. She asks him to admit how amazing she is, and Lin Zichen smiles, happily praising his highly talented girlfriend. Her playful mood disappears as she sits up straight, staring right into his eyes with a very serious face. She tells him that she has an important question to ask. She mentions the tough energy training sessions he did with their beautiful master. Wearing a sweet but scary smile, she asks him exactly what Kai King most just felt like during those moments. Lin Zichen freezes as his face turns completely red, nervously explaining that he was only trying to survive and didn't think about that at all. Shen Xinghen does not believe him. She pouts, crosses her arms, and calls him a liar, saying he has been close to her for days and must know her size by now. Panicked, Zichen waves his hands, explaining that the dangerous energy made his hands feel like they were on fire, so he couldn't feel anything else anyway. She narrows her eyes, wanting to know if he is really telling the truth. Sweating nervously, Lin Zichen promises on his life that he is. Their argument is cut short as the entire room suddenly starts shaking violently. Holding onto the bed with wide eyes, they both wonder if a massive earthquake is hitting the city. 30 minutes before the chaos started, deep inside an underground palace 20,000 meters below Shanghai City, the Great Elder of the Plant God cult got direct orders from his leader. He is now ready to use their ultimate weapon and start an immediate invasion. He cuts his hand, letting his blood drip onto a creepy red seed. The seed immediately starts whispering, begging for more blood as huge twisted roots begin to break out of the ground. The roots quickly twist together to form a giant wooden face. This new monster complains that its body is too weak and needs a lot of fresh blood to grow. Luckily, the Great Elder has the perfect solution ready. 1,000 giant mutant rats to feed it. A massive army of mutant rats is released, running straight toward the hungry roots in a wild stampede. The roots strike right away, stabbing the beasts in a bloody frenzy. The giant face watches the slaughter and says it wants to grow its body into a massive 1,000-meter tall tree. By feeding on all this blood, the monster plans to plant itself deep into the ground and completely control everything within a 10-mile area. Suddenly, the ground shakes, cutting Lin Zichen and Shen Qinghan's playful argument short. They look out the window in shock as they realize this is real. The plant god cult has officially attacked Shanghai City, and their giant wooden monster is already standing tall over the ruins. To make matters worse, a familiar and deadly foe has joined the fray. Floating high above the crumbling city is the nine-tailed demon fox, mockingly asking her little bedslave if he can still resist her illusions. She is incredibly strong, being an advanced tier Roman 9 master. In the middle of all the destruction, the sound of crying catches the nine-tailed demon fox's attention. Down on the broken streets, a scared little girl sits all alone, crying for her mother. Floating down to the ground, the powerful fox spirit feels a rare moment of pity for the helpless child. She speaks gently to the girl, offering her a glowing red pill and promising it will heal all of her injuries right away. The crying girl swallows the medicine, and a burst of glowing protective ruins immediately swallows. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to Amazing Apai. Subscribing makes sure you do not miss the next video, and it gives me motivation to keep improving the quality of every upload. Thank you for being here, and I will see you in the next one.